Welcome, families, to our overview of the secondary virtual learning model for the 2021 school year. My name is Jennifer Shriver, and I am the Executive Director of Secondary Education. Today's topics: first, we will be looking at the virtual learning overview. We will then take a closer look at the instructional day. I will answer some of the common questions. I will tell you how to get started. And I will also share ideas for how to support your students in the virtual environments. So how will our virtual model differ from the spring? Since the spring, the California Department of Education has clearly defined the expectations of virtual learning. Virtual instruction will look very different from the distance learning that we experienced in the spring. Specific criteria has been added to assure that student learning is our priority. Daily live instruction and interaction is now expected. Live interaction is defined as a two-way communication between a teacher and student each instructional day. All students are required to receive daily live interaction with both a teacher and their student peers for the purpose of instruction, determining student knowledge, and creating a connection with the school. Attendance and grading are required for the 2021 school year. Attendance will be taken through daily participation, completion of work, and weekly engagement in the class. Grading of student learning will also be required. Grading of assignments, tests, quizzes, projects, etc. will be expected, and grades for report cards will be determined and placed on the students' transcripts. Additionally, we are focusing on high-quality learning and instruction for all of our students. Virtual instruction is just as vital as in-person instruction. Let's take a closer look at the middle school bell schedule. The first class on the grid is a 0 period. Many students do not have a 0 period, so if your student doesn't have a 0 period, just ignore this first row. If you do have a 0 period, notice that this is a little different from the rest of the schedule, and you will meet every day at the same time. If you look at the first two columns, you will see the Monday schedule. On Mondays, students will have all of their classes in 30-minute periods. This gives teachers a chance to say hello to all of their students and outline what is expected for the week. You will notice that there's a break after second period, and there's a 5-minute passing or transition time between each class. All of the period classes conclude by lunch. This allows more flexibility for the afternoons. The morning periods will have live interaction, whereas the afternoons will be independent work, possible small group instruction, and office hours. Because in middle school students have 6 different teachers, each class will be a little different in design, but will follow this basic structure. Your teachers will have more specifics for you when they show you their classrooms and expectations. If you will now look at Tuesday through Friday section, you will see this is a block schedule. Students will attend odd classes or periods 1, 3, and 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and even classes or periods 2, 4, and 6 on Wednesdays and Fridays. Since this is a block schedule, it allows for more time in each period. Block periods are 60 minutes each. This gives additional time for teachers and students to interact in instruction. After lunch, again, we have independent work, small group instruction, and office hours. During the afternoon, expect your students to be working independently on assignments. They might be reading, working through problems, watching a recorded lesson, or many different other activities. Afternoons will also be a time to communicate with teachers regarding questions or asking for additional help on assignments. These are some common questions that we keep hearing. Does my student need to be available for the live instruction daily? Yes, if at all possible. We recognize that every family has its challenges, but working in an interactive environment is essential for our students to learn and move forward in their education. If there are extenuating circumstances, please make sure you have a conversation with your teachers and counselors so that they may help you come up with a solution for your student. If your student receives supports through intervention or special education, these supports will continue. Work with your teachers. They are figuring out creative ways to support in a virtual environment. Our goal is for all students to succeed, and we recognize that it sometimes needs to look a little different for different individuals. If you do not have a device, your school will be checking them out to students who need them. You should have received some form of communication regarding device checkout. If you have not, please contact your school for the details. And the final question is, will my student have homework? We are working with teachers to design lessons that do not require work beyond the school day. However, depending on the course your student is in, homework could be a possibility. Our teachers are challenged with providing rigorous curriculum that aligns with state standards. Sometimes homework is inevitable. If you feel your student is experiencing too much homework, please reach out to the teacher and have a clarifying conversation. Our goal is to work together with families to create the best situation possible in these trying times. Now let's get you started. We have a new learning management system called Canvas. We are super excited to have this tool. You might have already received an email regarding the details of this and how to log in. If you haven't, it's coming very soon. This information will also be on our district website as well as on all of our school site websites. Once you receive this information, please go and look through this program. I think you're going to really like what you see. There is even an app for parents, and we have instructions on how to download it and use it. Once you are familiar with Canvas, you will be able to easily monitor your students' classes and assignments. Canvas is our key connection for the virtual learning environment. We have a few suggestions to support your student in virtual learning. Creating a space suitable for learning. Make sure your student has a place to work that is free from distractions that can happen around the house. It's important to have a place that allows them to focus on the work. Make sure their materials and technology are organized in this space so that the student may readily access anything as needed. Netiquette is etiquette or the expectations of online engagement. Teachers will review expectations. Please encourage these behaviors as well. This is an excellent opportunity to teach our students 21st century skills that are also expected in the workplace. And the last bullet here is very important. It is so important that our students are the learners in this virtual environment. Students might be challenged at some point, and as a parent, sometimes we just want to jump in there and give them the answers. I strongly encourage you to work side by side with your student and show them ways to problem solve and ask for help from the teacher. When we return to in-person instruction, we want our students strong and prepared with the knowledge necessary. Our goal is to be partners in this new endeavor. These key supports will really help us build that partnership. Attendance and participation are very important for student success. Please make sure your student is logging in and participating in their courses. It is not like the spring, and attendance and grades do count. We want to do everything possible to make sure our students are successful from the beginning. Also, please monitor that they are completing their work. Canvas makes it very easy for you to see what's going on in each class, so you may have those conversations with your student. If you have concerns, questions, or even if you're really happy about what your teacher is doing, please communicate and share with your teachers. They are working so hard to make sure our students are successful in this virtual learning environment. And our final thoughts, people working together in a strong community with a shared goal and a common purpose can make the impossible possible. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you and your family a healthy and successful school year.